On this episode of Dirt Road Traveler, we spend 2 days in Luxor. So when you first arrive in the visitor center, you're greeted with this model that shows basically where the tombs are. It is all at scale. There's some tombs that were found as deep as 120 meters below ground. So it's a pretty interesting introduction to what we're in store for here in the Valley of the Kings. So they run a short video showing Carter's team as they're emptying Tut's tomb and bringing the relics out. We're kind of fortunate that we're here almost exactly 100 years after Howard Carter found the Tut's tomb after searching for years. And this is a great map of the area to show all of the really, really cool archaeological finds in the Valley of the Kings and also on the East Bank. We'll be going over to the East Bank tomorrow, but today we focus on the Valley of the Kings. Off to the valley.
With just a few minutes, then I'll give you like an hour and a half maybe to see all the tombs.
All of them? 60 of them.
What you paid for, guys. Will you guys please come here?
So the search for more tombs is an ongoing thing. And these workers are working based on a lead, believing that there's another tomb in this area for excavation.
He married several wives and he got more than 90 kids. So this is for just the sons, the boys. The whole tomb itself is just down there, almost under the ground, but it is closed because it's not in a good condition. These are some pictures from inside the tomb.
So we're in the Valley of the Kings, and our first adventure is the tomb of Ramesses III. So let's see what we find. And we're immediately greeted with these beautiful, vibrant colors. We'll just head down into the tomb. Unbelievable. On both sides are just endless hieroglyphics. This is the ceiling as we're walking in. Very vibrantly colored. And along the top, what appears to be a row of gods. And Ramesses himself. This is known as the Book of the Dead. It's a lot to take in. The heads of the slaves, their heads have been removed because they are the ones that know that this is here. This area is all gods here to protect Ramesses.
There's two gods holding drums, and they say what he's done in real life. He's where?
It's video. just quite fortunate. An unofficial guide just took our camera for a video walk. So I hope you enjoy this little snippet, a little bit of behind the scenes, things that people don't get an opportunity to go in themselves to see. So the next tomb that we're visiting is the tomb of both Ramesses V and VI from the 20th dynasty, and we're excited again. So at first blush, this tomb area is not quite as bright as we enter as our last tomb, but we're still seeing some gorgeous color, albeit a little decayed. So let's head on in. As we move in deeper and deeper into the tomb, the colors become more and more vibrant. And check out this ceiling and the stories that are being depicted. You can see boats and prisoners and gods and so much information that was shared. And from the 20th dynasty, they were able to literally read the stories. Some more incredible art. And we've reached the end of the tomb. And down here, the colors and the ceiling is brilliant. And lastly is the remaining pieces of the sarcophagus. I realize that these videos aren't doing this justice, but maybe, just maybe, this will inspire you to make the voyage to the Valley of the Kings in Luxor. As we make our way out, we've made one realization. It's almost too good to be true. It's almost too beautiful. And it's almost hard to believe that this is 3,000 years old and then some. Okay, so we're 2 tombs in. We have 2 left that we're doing today. And this one is the tomb of
Merapenta.
what she said. This is known as being one of the deepest of the tombs. And now we're gonna head in. Alrighty. So this one is very deep to enter. So we're gonna go down as slowly as we can, carefully as we can. Not seeing, again, a lot of color as we slide down this ramped walkway, heading down. This area is sort of our first area of bright color. Sadly, there's decay on the roof, on the ceiling, but the design in this area is pretty interesting. The sarcophagus is right here, and as is typical of granite found in Egypt, it's from a swan, so it's got that pink and black fleck tone. And of course, all the traditional carving. So a quick note about coming to the Valley of the Kings. Non-slip footwear is really important. These ramps, although they have little dividers every foot, are extremely slippery. This area looks to be the sanctuary, the altar, the top of another sarcophagus over there. We'll try to get a better angle. It's busy in here. But again, sadly, there's a lot of decay in the artwork here. Try to get you a little bit Sadly, it's dark in here, so if I try to zoom in, it'll get grainy. And there's the sort of remaining color on the walls in here. Steve Martin would be super proud of this moment. And the last tomb that we're going to visit is Ramesses IX. And there's supposed to be some beautiful, beautiful remaining color inside this tomb. So let's go see what we find. Right away we see really bright, lots of color. It's very busy. I think outside the Eiffel Tower, this is probably the busiest selfie place we've seen so far. More amazing colors. The royal blue and gold. Now here it's more painted than etched. These are more hand paintings as opposed to etchings that are filled with color. Back on this side, again etched, many hand painted surface paintings, similar to the way the ceiling is done. So this is a scale model of the temple that we're going up into next. And this is pretty cool. So our next stop is Hatshepsut Temple. It's 3 stories high in the side of that mountain. And I'm super excited to take you guys inside. And now we're heading inside the temple. But one thing that's important to note is this walkway that we're walking along used to have sphinxes on both sides. And there's only 3 sphinxes remaining. There's actually 2 still here, and the best of them we actually videotaped and showed you during our visit to the Cairo Museum. So let's head on inside. Perfect. So now that we're up on this level, give you a sense of size once you see all the people up top. Now, as you look at her statues on the 3rd floor, initially there was one in front of each and every one of the pillars. At least there's this many left. The 3 on one side and 6 on the other. So you'll see here, there's relic pieces of the other statues, also in position to show where they would have stood initially. So now we're going to head inside the first room, and you'll see the colors remaining on both sides of the door here, and all the carvings on both sides. So in here, a lot of it is paintings, a lot of it is colored engraving as well. See the stars on the dark sky. So this is one of the other sides on the 3rd level. A lot of restoration needs to still be done, but there's some beautiful, beautiful pieces here. While we're focused on Hatshepsut's temple here, there were also 2 other temples off on the side as we're looking at the temple from down below that would be to the left, that are still mostly in ruins. But as the excavation continues, they're putting pieces and parts and cataloging them to try to recreate the temples. That'll be years from now that they'll be done, but there's opportunity there for them to put them back together. Okay, so we're now on the second level. There's a bunch of area here that we want to see, but we also wanted to give you a sense of how ominous and amazing the mountainside looks behind where we are. And there she is with her feathered crown. So those last little pieces were from the right side, and now we're heading to the left side of the second floor. And I'm telling you, I just keep being blown away. Imagine all this stuff was done by hand. I just can't get over that. And one last thing while I'm on this piece, we hope you're enjoying this video. We would love it if you would consider subscribing to the channel, giving us a like, and maybe put a comment down below if you have an experience being here that you'd like to share with others. That would be great. I'd love to hear from you. So thanks again for watching, and we enjoy putting this Dirt Road Traveler project together for you. There's some beautiful detail here, and if you look in close, without color on it, but you can see the Key of Life, Horus's Eye, and a number of other really interesting etchings at this point. And in here we're seeing palm trees amongst all the other carvings. There's donkeys, cows, fish. And then we get inside this area. You can see it's depicting life on water. And here's a very long ship carved in. Again, fish above, and then another boat carved in. You may remember this from our last video while we were on the Nile, where we've got the keys of life and the staff, and it looks like it's showing a pillar of some sort there. And then and this little ruin used to be the entrance point of a temple. And imagine, those two statues are about 10 meters tall. And there was a temple behind it with the backdrop of the Valley of the Kings.
No, we just try to do something.
So now we're heading for lunch. Now Michael, our G Adventure CEO, Chief Experience Officer, Tour Guide Supreme, greatest gift that Egypt has ever given tourism, has said that this lunch should, would, and will be the best meal we have on this entire trip. So that's really neat. The other side about this really fantastic meal is this is one of our 2 G Adventure stops where we're supporting a local family and allowing them to have an enterprise, and that's part of why we're stopping here for lunch today. So here we go.
Welcome.
Up. We're going upstairs.
Hi Muhammad. Welcome to my home.
I'm starting with Cindy because she always loves eating on camera. Okay, so I have to give credit where credit's due. Michael said this was going to be the best meal. This food is pretty amazing. I wish you guys could taste it. Wow. And this is your outdoor kitchen.
Yes.
That's excellent. Electrical safety is not a focus here either. So we're getting checked into the hotel, and here in Luxor we're staying in the Steigenberger Hotel, and beautifully it's right on the Nile. So this is how our Luxor stay is going to treat us, with a resort style swimming pool and this absolutely beautiful mosaic wall is a wonderful feature for us as well. So we haven't taken many videos of our hotel rooms in the past, but we thought this particular hotel, the Steigenberger, is a very nice luxury resort hotel, and our room reflects that. So we're extremely happy again with the room setting that we have on our G Adventures tour, this time on the Luxor area. So this is Luxor Temple and the avenue at night. We're actually coming here tomorrow, but we've stopped to take a peek as we're on our way to supper. And tonight we're dining at Sahaby Lane. Looking forward to this. They say when in Rome, so being in Egypt and having the opportunity, I'm having camel for dinner tonight. Comes with rice and a beautiful mixed vegetables. Cindy's having a sausage something. But this is the big deal. This is camel. We'll let you know how this goes. So this is the moment of truth. Cindy's getting excited because it's always me taking video of her eating. Now it's me taking video of me eating. You know what? Not only is it fantastic, I feel a hump growing on my back. So this is very, very good. Camel? Yes. There's a great variety of food here. So that meal was fantastic. And this price of 415 is Egyptian pounds. So converting that to Canadian, so my camel meat pot, Cindy's fatira sausage, coffees and water, 415 Egyptian pounds is a little bit less than $20 for a dinner like that in a restaurant environment that I think is one of the coolest environments I've ever eaten a meal in. So this is a very, very nice dinner and a pleasant surprise with that kind of a price. So Chef Jebrel was the master who created that wonderful camel bowl that I had for dinner. So when you are in Luxor, you will come here. In the notes about the video, you'll have the address and how to find us, find this location, because if nothing else, the experience is so worth it. So,
thank you, because I am very lucky you making for you dinner anyway that.
Yes.
But I am happy now we talk with you, that's
Yes.
sure.
Yes.
But I hope you come back here.
Okay.
When you come back, I am lucky.
Okay.
That's sure.
Awesome. Thank you,
Sure,
Chef.
brother.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Well, it's day 2 of our Luxor experience, and we're starting the day at Karnak Temple. and we'll be moving our way over to the Luxor Temple in a few hours. These are also extremely old and amazing structures that we're going to be visiting, and I hope you really enjoy the videos that we have for you today. So this is a scale model of the Karnak Temple. You'll see the avenues with sphinxes, number of different obelisks, other avenues, huge brick wall that surrounded the entire temple area. As we head into the temple for the first time, we see a canal area. It's no longer got water that used to come from the Nile, and this used to be sort of a bit of a boat port for the actual Karnak Temple. And we also see our first avenue of sphinxes. So the right side of the avenue of the sphinxes. So I had often wondered how they got all the stones up the sides of these pyramids and other structures. So this wall has a series of mud brick walls in front of it. They were actually ramps, and what they would do is they would build mud brick ramps, put a row or two of stone, and then make the ramps taller. And then once the wall was finished, they would take them down. But because the king was involved in a series of wars that were taking place during the construction here, this wall was never finished, and because of that, the ramp was never completely taken apart. So a great explanation of how this was done because of a distraction during construction. So in this area, we're inside one of the many temples here, and this one is dedicated to Ramesses III, whose tomb we actually saw earlier in this video. And this appears to be another beautiful area with some great detail in these carvings. Imagine being able to take a field trip of grade 1 and grade 2 students. Imagine the inspiration that we would have in our youth if we could just take them to a historic site like this. What an incredible opportunity. So this large alabaster block was actually a mantle for them to put one of the ceremonial boats onto. And as it's weathered, it's become shiny, because most of the alabaster that we've seen is hand worked and not completely polished, but time has polished the top of this, and it's a spectacular piece. It's another area of bits and parts from Karnak. Just so many pieces. It's such a huge facility. So here's a large group of folks, archaeological restoration people in the scaffolding, working on cleaning and exposing the colors that we see more and more of here in this part of Karnak Temple. More of the restoration and cleaning. Interesting, the pillars on the side represent a closed flower, and then the elevated are open, sort of an open papyrus flower. That was the highest of the ceilings, and then you'll see the lower closed flowers would have been another ceiling area. So the center would have been a higher ceiling. And up here, those structures would have been there to allow light in from the higher ceiling.
You guys look over there. These are some of the famous titles of Egyptian kings in general. Let's start with this one, right next to the Key of Life. There are two famous symbols, the wasp on the left and a plant next to it, upside down plant. Both of them together, they make one title. We call it Nisubiti or Nisut Bit, which means King of Upper and Lower Egypt. Next to it, this is a different title. It's a symbol, looks like a plate or a dish. Below it is like two lines. Both of them together, they make one title, another title. The Lord of the Two Lands, Lord of Upper and Lower Egypt. And then the cartouche, the name of the king next to it.
The other thing is there's so many amazing angles, things to take pictures and video of in here. It's a bit of mental overload in here, quite frankly, which is a good thing.
Offerings, like what type of offerings you would give. Like some beautiful jars, necklaces up there, jewelry. And here, this is another beautiful one, which is rare. You see a carving of the two obelisks side by side.
Oh, right.
Yeah. And you can still see some of the colors up there, like blue. See that part?
Yeah.
Blue color. Colors. So your homework today is to find the Christian paintings. You will be on the pillars.
I think there's one there.
Here you go.
You
Now
can
let's
see
quick.
his face
Okay.
with us, yeah.
Here, right now.
Yes, that's right. There's one here. This is not the only one though. There's more. There's one here. There's one there. So everywhere.
Oh.
Present like disciples or different saints.
So this is the Queen's obelisk, and directly behind the Queen's obelisk is a scarab. And the scarab is deemed to be good luck, and the luck is amplified by walking counterclockwise 7 times around. So we as a group just walked 7 times around for good luck.
Drama in my life, so maybe I don't know.
Halfway.
Right here.
Just wait for a moment.
The moment I thought, maybe he's not even taking us. I'm not going to do it separately. That would be too superstitious. Okay.
Who's winning? Luck.
As long as I've done it once, I'm happy.
We're almost done. We're almost done.
We should have waited till after we'd taken our pictures to tell them.
And this is the sacred lake in the middle of the temple grounds.
Do you guys have you seen this god before? Do you remember? Amun Med, the fertility god.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Looking at his head for a moment.
So
Don't do that too often, Michael.
There's another one up there. See, there's another one up there. And behind him, this is the sun god, not the sun god, I mean the crescent moon god, Khonsu. This is also good one of the sun, Khonsu. Here is the king in the middle, looks like a high priest. See, this is how they used to dress like. So remember, Hannah, when you were asking me about this? So this is the tail, a part of the tail thing. It's not penis or anything. Here is like the bones. And this is the head of the panther or the lion head. This is how they used to dress like.
So this is the entrance to the Luxor Temple. You'll see on the left side of the door, there's an obelisk, and there's the right side, the obelisk is missing. That's the obelisk that was given to France in exchange for the clock that we saw in the Cairo Citadel. So it all ties back. That was the first video of the series. You may recall that while we were in the Karnak Temple this morning, Michael explained about these carvings, and here they appear again. So inside Luxor Temple, there was a church built, and you'll see this stonework from that church. But then later, a mosque was built on top of the church.
Part looked like the statues of the King Ramesses on each side, the flags hanging on the top, and the two obelisks, one here and one there. This is a unique carving and gives you an idea about how each temple is copied or looked like one day. You don't see it in any other temple of Egypt. So I picked it for you guys.
So these statues are actually alabaster. We've already seen alabaster today. So we decided we would go for a bit of a walk on Sphinx Avenue. It's about 2 kilometers long. We don't think we're gonna do 2 kilometers, but we did want to see the boat, and we'll see what we can, we'll see what we can come up with here. And we've made it this far. We were gonna keep walking down the avenue, but it appears that there's fewer and fewer sphinxes as we go. So we're gonna head on back, but this is beautiful. This is actually a wonderful series of signs that sort of explain the generational leaders that were involved in developing Luxor Temple. Ramesses II, of course, is the one that we've spent a lot of time with since actually day 1 of our visit here in Egypt. And the most recent involved here.